A day when you were on the field for just about the full 80 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously something that's been expected and put on my shoulders, and doing 80 minutes as a hooker, I think, like you say, in the modern game, there's not too many that are doing the 80 minutes these days. A lot of teams elect to have two hookers and interchange them and play about 40 minutes each. But obviously, I'm handling it okay, and it's obviously something Mark's put on my shoulders. But like I say, I'm confident enough to do the 80. I'm fit enough to do it, so I'm fine with doing it.
And you're playing with two young halfbacks in Kyle Wood and Simon Brown. I mean, they're running around you. Are you trying to keep them under control? Yeah,
no, look, it's great, I mean, having two young halfbacks, they're enthusiastic, they've got plenty of energy, and in a way they're still learning their trade, and as far as I can see, I think so far, the last couple of games have really gelled together really well. So I think certainly in the last two performances we've seen some encouraging signs from the Eagles, and obviously it's helped with having a bit of competition for places on the training field, and having some some players coming back from injury and things like that, and we've been able to choose from a pretty healthy squad. So like I say, it's just reflected in the performances, because everybody's wary now that you have a bad performance, you're not going to be in the team. And like I said, we've really focused our main go forward point on the league season, and so far we have not a bad start. 2 out of 3 wins, pretty good.
And yourself, it's your first full season, and a lot of the lads in the pack say that they're just starting to get used to the way you play, because you're very different player to Craig Cook, who unfortunately couldn't play today. Yeah,
obviously, I think it was good little balance that Cookie and I had at the end of last season. Obviously, Cookie's more of a steady sort of hooker, very very good organiser, good player with the ball. He's got a nice little kicking game as well. Obviously myself, I probably feel myself I'm a little bit more dynamic. I like to get out and attack the defensive lines a little bit more, and like you say, obviously the forward pack and the boys are probably obviously not as used to someone getting out as much as I do, and like I say, but slowly but surely they're getting there. I'm starting to get a little bit more push now, which is helping me, and my game gives me a bit more opportunity to play and things like that. But I'm sure, like I say, as more game time we get, the boys will respond better to it.
Do you think today's second win in the league sets you up well for another tough home game against Halifax?
Yeah, looking forward to it. I mean, let's not take nothing away from Halifax. I know they're not sitting pretty at the moment on the league table, but they've still got enough quality there to do damage, and we're going to have to be respectful of them. They are the champions, aren't they? At the end of the day, they won it last year, and I'm sure that they'll come good at the end of the year. You know what I mean? Or they could come good next week. Hopefully not. But looking at our performances, I mean, it was a bit of a shaky performance against Widnes first up. I thought the scoreline didn't reflect that game totally. Could have been a little bit closer. I thought great performance against York, certainly for the majority of that game. And again today, a 40-minute performance for me. I think second half we went away from it a little bit. Sometimes that can happen when you sort of get away to a decent lead. You sort of, people sort of going to try and play for themselves a little bit and force things that aren't really on. And I think we saw a little bit of that today in the second half, which is a little bit disappointing. It'd just be nice to get a complete 80-minute performance, and that's something that we're going to be striving to. But we're certainly taking the right steps in going forward towards that.
And the game against Halifax has the added incentive that they put you out of the playoffs last year.
Yeah, they did. They did, and that's something we can maybe use as a bit of motivation. But at the end of the day, we've talked about consistency this season, and it's something that we need to bring. And I think slowly but surely our performances, we're a little bit patchy at the moment. Like, we're showing some really good glimpses, and we're showing some ordinary glimpses as well. And like I said, it's striving to get that complete performance, and then once we get that, being able to back that up week in, week out to get that consistency. But like I said, 2 wins out of 3 is not a bad start. It's not how you start always. It's more about how you finish. And like I say, if we can just keep ticking along and, like I say, improving each week, and hopefully we'll be there or thereabouts come the end of the season.
You had to sit out today's game against Toulouse. What was the problem?
Yeah, just had a slight sort of groin strain. Nothing serious. It's just didn't have enough time to recover from it. I did it on Monday's training session, and there just wasn't enough time to come back and play the game.
So will you be fit for Halifax?
I'm hoping so, yeah. Had some physio treatment on it, and been in the gym and done some rehab, and it feels quite good. I just have to see how it goes this week, but 99% sure I'll be back for Halifax.
And do you think you can get back in the team after today's
performance? Well,
particularly the first half?
A very good first half performance, very, very good, especially in the forwards. I thought for the 80 minutes the forwards were very good. So hopefully I can get back in, just have to just train well this week and see what happens.
Did you see that as an encouraging win, a sort of style that the Eagles are now starting to show what they can do at last?
Well, I think it's a good sign that obviously having such a good first half, and if we played probably like the way we had in the first half, I think there'd be a lot more points on the board. So, I mean, you've got to take some encouraging signs from that, but it's all about getting a full 80 minutes performance rather than just 40 minutes and bits and bats in the second half, which wasn't obviously very good.
Mark, good win against Toulouse today, 34-16, and particularly a good first half.
Well, I thought the first 40 minutes were as good as we've played this season. Again, a couple of mistakes led to a couple of soft tries, but with the ball in hand and his kicking game was absolutely outstanding. And we put the ball in the right areas and we looked dangerous, we looked quick, which is something we've spoke about for, over the last couple of weeks. So, we're going in the right sort of direction. The second 40 minutes, I've got to say, is I've just caned them with. I'm not happy. I thought they were disrespectful. I asked them to be ruthless, and we wasn't. And they've took it on the chin, and they understand what I'm talking about, because we look clueless. Whereas in the first half, we looked really smart and know where we're going and what we're supposed to be doing. In the second half, we didn't. And I guess that's down to the discipline and the respect.
In the second half performance, is it more the fact that they didn't try to put more points on the board, because they just did defend well, didn't they?
Well, yeah, we defended well for most of the game, and I thought again the forwards were big, strong, and I thought the halfbacks put the ball in the right area the first half. But we just stopped doing the things that had opened them up. We stopped kicking the ball, and our kicking game in the first half were outstanding, and we started to try and play around them instead of going through them, which we spoke about. We needed to play direct, and we wasn't direct in the second half. And sometimes when you get away from them and you look comfortable, then that's what happens. But I'm not copying that, and they're better than that, and we need to make sure that again, looking forward to next week, we're better than that again.
And Halifax, a team who maybe had a bit of an upset the first game of the season against Toulouse, but they're coming back again.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they knocked us out the grand final last season in the semi-final, so that's still a bit of taste in my mouth, particularly, and the guys. So they've had not a great start in the league, but they're a quality team. I watched them again on Thursday night, and I thought at times that they were unfeatherston ragged, and that's why defensively we've got to be a little bit better next week. But it's going to be the next challenge for us. Can we carry on the momentum, the roll on that we're getting now? We've got to play for 80 minutes, and that is the key. We've got to stick to the game plan. We've got to be disciplined and respectful to ourselves, to the coaching staff and to the opposition.
Are you pleased, by the way, the forwards are starting to work well with Andrew Henderson?
Yeah, we're big and strong. We know that, and when you get on the front foot, we can do anything, as we showed in the first half. But we've got some big guys, haven't we? And we were missing Jack today. Dane McDonald pulled out last minute. What about young Eddie Batty coming in and getting 25 minutes in the middle of it when it got tough and physical? And did he look out of place? No, he didn't, which is great, because it means that the kids are starting to come through, and Eddie's just one of many, as Corey Hansen and people like that is. So we are big and strong. And when we lost people like Jack Howison, the inspirational captain, young Eddie Batty stands up and looks comfortable in the first team, which is great news.
And you gave a debut to Vinnie Finnegan, and he rewarded you with a try and looked good.
I like what he does. He's all over the place. He sports. He pushes. He pushed the ball to Q early on in the first half, which asked people questions. So, yeah, he's a dangerous player. He scored his try, took his try well. He made some good decisions defensively and looked really, really comfortable. But he's a good kid, and he wants to be the best he can be, and that's the key, isn't it?
You gave his debut because Danny Mills has broken a finger in training.
Yeah, we're just doing a little bit of extras. The last thing on Thursday night, the final run through was all done, and what happened is that an high ball went up, it bounced on the ground, bounced back, as the funny shaped balls out there, as they do, and hit him smack on the end of the finger, and he got a compound fracture, dislocation through, that came through the skin. So he was a little bit sore. We left him well today. Danny was pretty keen to play, and credit to him, but we made the decision that he probably will be a little bit too early.
How long do you think he might be out for?
Maybe a week. He could be back next week. Jack Howison could be back next week, and there's 3 or 4 players that hopefully will be chomping again. And it's that competition for places, isn't it, that we've always spoke about. And now that people are looking over the shoulder, and you fetch Epi on, you fetch Alex Rowan, and they look danger, big, strong. And there's when people come back and they're fighting for places, that's going to bring the best out of the team, no doubt.
Anybody you'd like to pick out today? Peter Green, another big performance.
I thought Peter Green were very good again. I thought Endo does what he does. I thought Liam Higgins were big and strong. So and I thought Epi went on and looked a lot comfortabler. And Eddie Batty, I thought were great. Vinny, Jason Crooks probably would be the standout player for me, and I thought he probably deserved man of the match.
And the prospects then are good for another home win, maybe against Halifax. Well,
that's what we're building for. We love playing at Bramall Lane, and the guys need to, we play football and it's entertainment, isn't it? And we need to be more respectful. We've got to play for 80 minutes. We've got some big games coming up now, and you get that momentum, don't you? If you can get a great result against Halifax next week, and then you've got a week off, and then you're into Dewsbury, Batley, and you can go there and get some momentum again. And before long, you sat nice and pretty, aren't you? Which we need to be. We need to keep challenging ourselves. And I challenged them at the beginning of the game today and said, can we go back to back? Because Toulouse, I know they've lost 1 or 2. We Cookie out today, which was a bonus for us, but they're a quality team.